What's up, everybody? You're a little dirty, I think. That ain't too bad. So, some people have asked me what's my everyday go-to, like my setup, my gear setup in the truck and in the woods and all that. And we're gonna go through and show you what I have on the truck at any one time. Some of it is conditional to the situation I'm doing and what I'm using, but we'll just start going through it here. How about that? So first thing, obviously I have my felling belt I use. This is the Weaver one. Who's that? Weaver Arborist. Lauren got me this actually one year, and I usually carry 3 wedges. I usually carry 2 10s and an 8. I always have a file on hand. That's a video for another day, files. I have my felling axe, which is a Husqvarna axe, but it's kind of a custom handle setup. Then I have my scrunch put on a little swivel here, and then I always have a little first aid kit. You know, it's just things to stop a really bad cut or something right away until I can get to the truck, which I have another first aid kit. So then you have your grease gun. Somewhere I'll have more grease in the thing. Now that I see this is weeping a little bit, so sorry, I'm kind of just going through this. Let's go through here. I carry my chaps. Got the chaps in there. They're stashed up. They're all wadded up right now, but we're all right. So, and then usually I have like 2 of the same saws. Sometimes I'll have the 395 and the 372, but I got one 372 here. They both have the same bars, same chain, same everything, so everything is all interchangeable, and that goes for the 395 also. Same bar, same chain. Another 372. Get one pinched, smash one. You don't have to go home for the day. You always got another saw. Right there you go. And then, ooh, grease fitting. I have my wrenches. This is a standard wrench set. Goes from like 1.25 inch all the way down to I think 7/16. I can't remember. And then I have a random toolbox. Made this back in high school when it was a shop project. It's about fell apart by now. It's all rattled apart. But let me show you what I got in there. I just have like, that's a 20-inch chain. I don't know why I have that in here. I think I was cutting fired with a buddy and I threw it in there to give it to him. I have random saw parts in there, sprocket rims, things like that. Some old files from something else, some grease, some springs. I think those are 395 springs. There's an old crummy spark plug in there. Just odds and ends go in this box. It's just like a random crap I accumulate box that I need to go through more often. And then I have the crate of wisdom here. Just a random crate. We've got to have some WD for who knows what. Extra wedges. First aid kit. Now this first aid kit has just about a little bit of everything in it. It's got bandages, blood stoppers, aspirin tablets, you know, wraps, all kinds of crap. There's like tweezers and like pain stoppers and those quick suture things, all that, just in case you never know what the heck's gonna happen. So we have that. And then we've got metric grease fittings or grease zerks. Because, you know, and these are just my nasty gloves. I use them for winter, but I'm usually like I'm hooking up the buck saw hoses and things and chaining stuff down in cold, wet weather. I use them. I have this spud wrench, which I used to use back when I was a carpenter, but it comes in handy for a lot of stuff, especially when you're doing chains on a skidder. And this here, these should be crow's feet. Yep, there we go. We got crow's feet. Those come in handy. This is an old chain that I had sharpened. That is like a bucking chain now. Gotta have a can of Tin Man. You can't go to work as a logger without a can of Tin Man, and that's anti-seize. I've got extra ends for the grease gun, emergency thing of 2-stroke in case you run out somewhere. I've got some little electrical box, which I gotta go through. That thing's hurting. I have slides. I've got some plugs and caps for hydraulic hoses in case something's leaking. I got some extra bolts, some rope in case I gotta pull a hose through. I've got a standard grease fittings, a little bit of everything in there. I can't see, almost a kitchen sink, but we got her all. And then I have obviously my socket set, I have a screwdriver set in here. I have a little bottle jack there. Let me put some things away. I'm missing something here. Put that there. Sometimes I get it all in here and then I don't remember how I took it apart. And then over here, so I've got some air fittings for something else I did. These are pin connectors for a John Deere style plug. This is a spring off of something I screwed up, obviously, and I don't remember what it was, but I'm saving it probably because of that screw. Don't know why I'm saving it. There's extra handle screws for the saw when they come out. Got extra bushing for, that's for on the skidder. More vice grips, can never have enough of them. Got some extra wire in case you need wire. I have gasket maker here, a lock which used to go on the fuel tank, but I have a different one on there now. There's an easy out that I clearly did not out whatever I was easying, so away it goes. Then I've got some more sprockets and things like that. Little chisel. What's this? What are those? Allen wrenches. Duh. Fuses, and I have a big thing of fuses in the truck. Then I've got needle nose, some side cutters, and then over here I've got my triangular raker file. I've got my chainsaw file, my saw chain file, some extra bolts, nuts, bar greaser, container ring remover, extension for that, torch striker, piece of rubber. Never know when you're gonna need a piece of rubber. Some more caps and things. This handy thing down here I use, it's not what it's for, but I use it to clean out my bar channel. And I have some extra markers and things like that to label stuff. Now, when I put my saws in here, what I wanted to show y'all, so when I put my saws in here, every saw leaks. Ooh, more grease fittings. Look at that. You never know what you're gonna find down here. So, every saw leaks a little bit. Some saws leak a lot. Leak what? Bar oil. So, what I like to use is these things called pigments. You see the pigments? Pigment. I'm sure you get them. I get them at the auto parts store. I like to take one or two of those. Apparently these new ones are not as big as the old ones used to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 instead of 2. Used to be able to do it 2, now I got to do it 3. Handy dandy pull out. We'll put them down first, get rid of Mr. Stink Bug. Another grease fitting. I had a moment one day and I threw a container of grease fittings, and that's why there's so many grease fittings, if you're wondering. And which one's the new one? I don't know which one the new one is. That's it. Okay, so anyway, here's the older one. I put that in there. I put this one in there. And then I put these in there. And then we put the grease gun in there. Nope. Put the grease gun in there. And then we put this in there. It's quite the conglomeration. But there you have it. It's all sealed inside the weather guard toolbox. Well, not all of it. This big dummy I am left my wrenches out. That happens twice a day. I forget something. That ain't it. So, back here, which is usually in that area right there, I'll have my gas can. It's my 5-gallon of saw gas. I use them safety cans. I like them. And then I have my cans I use in the woods. This is the best reinvented gas can you can find. It's that little push button one. It seems to work pretty good. We won't get into government and gas cans. Then I have bar oil. I usually have 1 or 2 jugs. Looks like I have 2 empty ones, but I just finished that job. There's a couple extra slides, funnels, things like that. And then I got a track tightener, chain tightener. And I have the impact for all that inside the back seat. And this goes in the back seat too, but just for sakes, we'll put it out here. We have your Boss O-ring seals, your flat seals, SAE flange seals, O-rings, face seals, all that stuff. A little kit comes in handy. Got to have your little grinder for cutting, like if you break your cable or something. And then And I just like to put it in this tub because it keeps it all together. Got my helmet, it sits in here. Chainsaw files, what's left of them. Blue shop towels. Many uses. Most important one is when you got to take a dump. That's all I'll say. I got more chainsaw files. I had this whole pack I bought for like nothing. And it turns out that they're the wrong size, so 13/64 if anyone needs them. Always have paint because I got to label logs and stuff. I got fluorescent red and red in here now. Usually I got some blue. Got glass cleaner. I got me a can of upside down white if you got to do like a one call for like utility locations. Here's like an emergency thing of 2-stroke, but I usually use this style. That's what I've been using. I have zip ties, lots of zip ties. Why? Multicolor. You have to take a bunch of hoses off of something like a valve bank. You can label them with zip ties. Got yourself an extra tape, log tape. It's just getting too much. Extra chains, grease, gloves. We have, this is fuel filters for the loader. It's fuel water separator and filter there. I've got so much flagging tape, it's ridiculous. That's all flagging tape. And this whole bag here is full of flagging tape. So you see what all I got in there. It's a basket case, quite honestly. But this will go back inside. And last but not least, in the vehicle. If you're wondering, yeah, it's a different truck. I had to buy one. I'm not gonna get into why. I didn't wreck it or nothing. It just, the other one conked out on me and I had to get a new one. But then I have my timber marking stick here. Got my scaler stick, log scaling stick. And you go under the seat. What do we got under there? This needs thrown away. That was a hard hat liner that I didn't like. You got backup TP. I got a swivel head ratchet, some safety glasses, some metal zip ties, because you can always have more of those. 2 bars. Why 2 bars? Because one's good to have an extra 1 bar, but an extra 2 is even better. I try to keep 2 on hand anytime I can. I got metric sockets, all my standard ooh, I'm gonna need these. I'm gonna need these for something else. And my standard sockets are on the other side. I don't think I have much more. Some more springs in there and a wrench for something. I have a little click starter here, fire starter, just in case you need to light something on fire, or cold, or just start a torch. I didn't say that. That's not safe. You're not supposed to start a torch with an open flame. And then what do we got over here? So that's a tire patch kit, tire plug kit. These are some cameras I found on the last job. I didn't want to run them over and the rightful owners never showed up for them, so I don't know what I'm going to do. An extra bar tip, good to have that around. These are track bolts for the dozer. Track bolts for the dozer, extensions, more sockets. And I think we've reached our penultimate. I think we reached it all. And I can get all that in a pickup truck. So now you see what I have, what I use. And now the only other thing that I would change is every once in a while I carry extra chokers. I got extra bell chokers here. I don't like the ones with the big blue bells like this. I like the ones with the micro midget slides, but I haven't been able to get them for a while. They come from Wallingford's. I have a spill kit. Sometimes you're working on like gas well stuff that require you to have that crap. And then every once in a while I'll have some antifreeze and extra oil. I'll take a jug of like extra oil or something for the equipment. So that's a quick rundown of what all I got there. I'm sure I missed something, but you get the idea. So that was a fast one. I feel like an auctioneer, did a lot of talking, but thanks for watching. Don't let your meat loaf.